The short of it is that the real argument was that here was a government telling us to, enforcing us, I should say, to buy a government-provided product with a government-endorsed company called the East India Company, which was too big to fail. And it was compounded with a forced price on the whole thing. That was the real case here, was that we were not subjects. We were citizens and we demanded our rights. Now how, by the way, what did we ultimately do? We threw it in the Boston Harbor. End of 342 chests. By the way, today's value of that would have been in excess of $800,000. And so the British government got very angry about that. How does that translate to what we have here today? It's really simple. In the greatest show of arrogance and self-righteousness, we have a Congress that really abused its citizenry by passing the largest tax increase and spending program in the nation's history without reading it. And what did they do when we complained? They ignored us. When we complain and we demand that they abide by the Constitution and secure our borders, what do? They ignore us. When they continue this rampant spending, knowing sure and certain that they will enslave our children and our grandchildren to a debt, a national debt that will never be paid, and when we complain about it, what do? They ignore us. Only when they feel the awful wrath of we the people marching in the streets, as we did in Boston in 1770, demanding and yelling that we want our country back, that they will get the message that they work for us. Sadly, our public servants have become our masters. Taxation without representation was tyranny. Irresponsible spending of our tax dollars is downright criminal. But yet when we continue, I should say, to turn to our government and look to them to solve the problems that they created in the first place. Now the question I have is this: what do we do about it? The same question was raised with Sam Adams in 1768, when the Redcoats arrived in Boston. I can still see them today, marching up King Street abreast to the sound of fifes and drums, the sun glinting from their bayonets. The populace was terrified, and somebody said to Sam, "What are we going to do about that, confronting the largest government with this kind of force?" And his answer was slow and measured. With his palsied hand shaking, he spat on the ground and he said simply this: "It does not take a majority to prevail. It takes an irate, tireless minority, keen on spreading the sounds of liberty in the hearts and minds of men." As I look at this body of people here before me today, I see this